Sarah here. I'm here to talk to you today about core values. So, oh my God, with this, I've talked a little bit about this and touched upon it in my videos, and I think that this is important, core values, because I really think it guides my life, or I'm trying to let that guide my life. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm working towards it, and as long as I'm making progress to it, then that's the only expectation I'm gonna put on myself. So, sorry. I'm here from my very messy office. I'm in the middle of the decluttering, the 40 bags. So, anyhow, I use my planner as a tool really, to help me manage me living to my core values, to what I believe to be important. And I've thought a lot about this in the past, and I would say last year was really an interesting year for me. So I told you all that I've been doing like the happiness project every year. And so from the happiness project, the framework, Gretchen Rubin, every month she works on something else in the atmosphere of happiness. And I really think you should look at the book. It's great. So anyhow, I kind of took that framework and I started to, every month this year, work towards living to my core values. So the reason that really got me thinking about this was last year was just a really busy year for me. I work in a professional job, have kids, 2 teenage boys, and I really am, oh my blanket's so bunchy, and I really just started to kind of rethink, and maybe it's because of the time of life I'm in, maybe it's because my kids are getting older and I have a minute to think now, but I really started to think about what was important to me. And what really made me think about this is because one time I was traveling, and this was really a moment that made me stop and think of what I was doing. Why am I living like this? Not that I'm living in a bad way. I don't want to put that impression across. I have a great job, a great family, great friends. But I was traveling for work, and I was rushing to make my flight to get home, which I was trying to get to the earlier flight so I didn't miss the practice, and I was just juggling all the things. And I went through security, and after that I went through to the bathroom, to the ladies' room, to go to the ladies' room, and I was getting my belt out of my bag, and I was putting my belt on, and going to the gate or the terminal, and I was I wrapped the belt around me, and I was staring at the belt buckle, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't figure out how to buckle it. I was so like, oh my God, I forgot how to buckle a belt, because I was just so overwhelmed. And I remember I barely remember driving to the airport. I was just so busy and consumed with the project I just launched, and is it gonna work? And I was nervous, and just really not stressed about it, but I was just a little anxious about it. And I'm staring at my belt, and I'm like, I can't figure out how to buckle my belt. And I was like, why can't I? And I was sitting there trying to figure out why I can't buckle my belt. Guys, I wrapped my laptop charger through my belt loops, and I was trying to plug in the plug to the charger. Like this thing. This charger into a plug. And I like, at first I laughed at myself, but then when I was on the plane, I was like, oh my God, it took me a solid 10 minutes to figure out I wrapped a cord around my waist and not my belt, because that's how stressed I was. So anyhow, I started to really think about what the hell. I really was just dumbfounded, and I was upset with myself because it just made me feel like I was so overwhelmed or stressed. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me, but it was like funny, but it wasn't funny because my mental capacity was just not there. So anyhow, so from there I really started to think about my core values. So what are my core values? So this is last year's. I totally feel like I have lipstick on my teeth. This is my traveler's notebook from last year. It's a Cheek Sparrow, and I love this thing, but the size wasn't my jam. So anyhow, so I really started to do a mind map of my core values. You can't really see it. Oh, there you go. That's probably better. So I just started to do a mind map of my core values, and then I categorized them. And that's really how I came up with the word balance for this year. So some of the things that it says is like trustworthiness, curious, empower families, growth. And sometimes I just put quotes in there that resonated with me, that maybe like gave me the feel of how I wanted to live my life, or like what I wanted to guide my life, my guiding principles, if you will. So like, you know, one was live your eulogy, not your resume. I heard that quote somewhere and I thought it was great. So I really started to think a lot about that. So from there I categorized them into themes, because this is what I do. And I came up with 5 themes, and one was authentic, family, balanced, health, and growth. So from there, so those are my, kind of can see how I color coded them. Focus. There. So from here, I really started to think about what they mean to me. And so that was last year. So I kind of put them more in I brought them over into this year's bullet journal. And actually why I thought this was important to do was because the other thing that's always going around in my head, which I'm sure most women's head, is that question, can you have it all? Right? There's always that question, you can have it all. And like I was raised, so Gen X or Xennial, I guess, it's like you can have it all, you can have it all. And then there's that whole women's movement where it's like, yeah, but you didn't like take stuff off the plate to put more on the plate, so then you're just overwhelmed and overworked. So then if there was like an argument, you can have it all but not at the same time. And honestly, like none of that sits well with me. Like, so it just never sat well with me. And I've been in each of those camps. Like I've been in the camp, you can have it all. I've also been in the camp, oh, you can have it all, but you can't have it at the same time. And what I mean by that is like, oh, like if your career's going well, your personal life's falling apart, or vice versa. And then the whole can you have it all is like have a career and have dinner on 5, and well, I'm divorced, so that didn't work out for me. But there's a lot of reasons there. But so then I started to, like, I could never answer it, and I never had an opinion, and my friends are falling into camps. I'm like, I can't, I don't have one. And I was in some, and then I would come out of them, and or the opinion. Then I was like, well, and then when I was using my laptop charger as a belt, basically, I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I working so hard? And like, not that I don't want to work hard. I really enjoy my job, and I really am passionate about having a career. But then I was like, what am I, what's the end game here? Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. And I'm like, well, and you know, it's like CEO, I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of don't want to sacrifice my life for a CEO, which would be fantastic if it would be a CEO, but like on my terms, you know. But anyhow, so I really started to think about what is the all. And then that came to like how businesses come up with core values and mission statements. And that's when I'm like, I'm coming up with my core values. So that's when I did the mind map. All right, so what are my core values? So I'm gonna share them. So here's my spread, and I'll post a video of doing this. Sorry, the light is, you know, the sun is there, people. All right, so my core values, so I talked about being authentic, and like, what does that mean to me? So be Sarah, so just be myself. Do what's right, not easy. So that's a quote I've heard. Live your eulogy, not your resume. Be effective. Lighthearted. Like, I just don't want to be the heavy. I don't want to be naggy. I don't want to deal with that, like people doing that to me. So then my family. So I always say, and I heard this on Dr. Phil like a long time ago, raise adults, not children. Be supportive, not a slave. Trustworthy. I want to empower my family. And the other thing, like, I always hear this division, like your friends and your family. And I've always struggled with that, because my friends are my family. Like, I care just as much about them as I do my family. And I want just as many good things for them as I do my family. So I'm not separating them. They're the same in my eyes. So friends are family to me. Growth. I think growing is important. I always want to be learning something, and it could be art journaling or bullet journaling, or it could be, I don't know, a new framework or a new tool or something. I don't know, but I just want to always try to grow. To be curious. I really think being curious is a great attribute or characteristic to have. I definitely have always found myself wanting to learn more about things. Be accepting. Guys, just, it's fine. If nobody's hurting each other, just let them be. That's just how I feel. Like, I want to be accepting. Begin with the end in mind, and I guess that is tying right directly to my core values. What does my eulogy say? What do I want my life to look like? That's the actions. Those are the things I want to plan for. In my planner, I want to use that tool. Prune. So I heard Cameron Bure say sometimes you have to prune, and like, you can prune your schedule, you can prune your friends, you can prune your family. So whatever's, not that it's not serving you, but if it's not bringing you good feelings consistently, then you can wish them well and go on. So pruning is important, and I think that, I really think it's, people need to give themselves permission to do that. So balanced. It's my word of the year is balance. And so I don't glorify busyness. Like, I don't want to just go from one thing to another. I definitely was the kid that went from a sport to a, I started working really young. I went to sport, I went to a school, I went to my friends, and I was just always on to the next thing, and I never got times to just sit and think. So I just don't want to live that way. Keep it simple, stupid. That's something that I use in my professional life. Like, if the process is really complex, that's not good. So I keep it simple, stupid, and that goes to my life. Guard your time fiercely, be generous with it, but intentional about it. Again, I just want to make sure I'm living the life that I, to my values and that planner, and that's really the tool that helps me see it all come together. Progress over perfection. You guys have heard me say this. I think this is so important. It's so important to celebrate progress. You just don't get to the end game. You have to work every single day, the little things to get to it. And I really do believe in that, because I do that for work. I make little continuous improvements, and I see it pay off in businesses, and I've seen it pay off in my own life, and I really think that should be the message. Progress over perfection. Time for the right things. And then health. So food. I just want to be proud of what I eat. I don't have to be perfect and super organic and all natural. Like, that's not what I mean by that. I just want to feel proud of what I'm doing. Like, I want to feel that I'm taking care of myself. So sometimes it's a salad, and sometimes it's a burger. I don't know. So fitness. Guys, I don't want to go to the gym. I want to watch TV or play with my cricket or something. But I always feel great after working out, and just, and I found that if I just focus on keeping the habit of showing up or just doing something rather than focusing on the workout, I think that has been the trick to keep me engaged with it. And I didn't go much the other week because I was traveling, and now there's coronavirus, so I don't know if I should go to the gym. Self-control. So this is anything. Oh my gosh, I go to Michael's and I want to buy everything. But so I think self-control is important with your time and your budget and all of the things. Mental health is health. I really, really more than ever believe that to be true. I've done a lot of kind of listening to different books and reading articles about mindfulness and trauma and overwhelmingness, and I see some of the stuff I do for work. I see how it impacts the people emotionally, psychologically, and I mean, I'm really starting to see how important, control and I don't even know how to say it, but mental health is health, everyone. Take care of yourself. The other thing is, what is the cost? And I really am not talking about money. Like, a little bit I'm talking about money, but what is the cost of time? Like, what is the cost of the mental load you have to carry to agree to that? And that's like saying no and setting boundaries. So these are all things that I find to be directly like related to my core values. So I guess I have 5 core values: authentic, family, growth, balance, and health. And I just put those little descriptions in there to help me remember like what those words mean to me. Like what do I think it is? So I don't know, sorry, the light is killing me. So anyhow, so that is my core values, and I'm gonna edit this video and put it up and then continue getting rid of stuff. So I think I'm at like, I wanna say 12 bags, and I even got my kids to do 2 bags in their rooms. Yes, winning. No, so anyhow, get rid of the clutter, because I really think that is such a mental weight, a mental load, all of the piles in the corner on the dog crate that I got rid of. So anyhow, core values, guys, I really think that you should just take 5 minutes and do it like a mind map again. So this was what it looked like when I first wrote it down, and then this is what it looks like now, and I'm sure they'll evolve over the years. So anyhow, bye everyone, take care, stay healthy.